Wassail, beautiful people. It's actually still my birthday, but I haven't got much to do today apart from enjoy myself. And I enjoy myself doing readings for people. So I thought, why not do some readings and set them up to schedule? Yesterday I was talking with Kathy. Wassail, Kathy. And in the course of the conversation, we came up with the term spiritual stabilizers. And I feel like that needs to be a reading. This notion that we have all of these crutches, stabilizers on the spiritual journey. And look, they're essential. They're training wheels. But at some point, we have to take the stabilizers off. You see, and now I'm thinking of that message that my mother sent me. And look, she said to me when I was in Mexico, obviously not on the telephone, but on the spirit phone, she said, I absorbed all the pain to birth you, to bring you into this world, to make your life. Now you have to absorb your own pain and birth yourself. So there is this phrase, re-death and birth. It is time to take the spiritual stabilizers off and birth ourselves, trust ourselves. It's about intuition that people talk about. Trust your intuition all the time. And it's hard because there's always cosmic doubt. And a drop of doubt wipes it out. And believe me, I know that. Because for all the wonderful things I channel and tune, there are energies that come through that are part of the ego that just wants to stop you reaching the non-egoic state of divinity and divine bliss. So let's see if we can all embrace some divine bliss and take those spiritual stabilizers off and ride our own bike. Trust that we have the balance. You see, and now that's making me think of when I was very small. I was given, and my parents bought me a bike at a jumble sale, very cheap, small, and in the garden we had a flat, a little slope, and then flat again. And I just kept getting on the bike and trying to pedal and learning to balance. And through persistence, you balance. So there's something in this energy that's all about learning how to truly balance ourselves. I want to say in both our spiritual spaces, but also the physical places in which our spiritual spaces must exist. There's a nice little bit of poetry. And I'm thinking, I could just keep talking, but I kind of want to let the decks do a little bit of work. Because at the decks, let's talk about decks. So when we shuffle, what are we shuffling? Are we saying, Spirit, give me a message? Or are we saying, give me a message? Because it's our physical body connected to our spiritual wealth that creates the shuffling to bring in the cards, and our thoughts and our emotions help to define them. Now, often when I do readings for me, those drops of doubt are in there. I'm asking questions about my journey rather than trusting it. Whereas when I do readings that I share with you, I don't have that same energy, and somehow the messages feel more sublime because there's a detachment from myself to the oneness of everything, which is all of you. So, let's see what my divine self wants to bring through to share with all of you about spiritual stabilizers. Flursa, flow. You see, First Blood really talks originally in the card about the rite of passage for a girl from girl to woman, so their first period. But it also talks about here first blood being the blood within our human form, and that somehow our second blood comes, or the change in the frequency of the flow to divine 13 moons frequency, when we decide to trust that we can ride the spirit bike. So I'm going to read that one actually. So, rite of passage into fertility, fluidity, and creative potential. Shifting in a divine moment, synchronizing blood to the cosmic cycles, stepping towards the moon magic of life. Womb flow from the sacral seat, the bloodlines through time that give form to life. To be in tune and lose count of the structures that hinder mystical progress. To accept and not question. To release resistance and be 13 moons frequency. I want to say that there's a line in that here, which is the womb flow from the sacral seat, the bloodlines through time that gave form to life. We need to honor the fact that we have a connection back to the cosmic womb. All mothers birthing life are connected to that. It's a magical, mystical, wondrous doorway in, as my mother said when she came to in Mexico. They absorb the pain to birth us. Now, pain absorption is a very divine, masculine, actioning frequency. And so we have to remove our spiritual stabilizers to stand in our divine masculinity. So maybe these spiritual stabilizers have to go before we can feel and honor the divine masculine within. I want to just say, look, Poimanda is on the bottom, which is polyphony to unison, becoming aligned. Look, rather than trying to say becoming aligned with everything in the entire cosmos, because that's a really far-reaching concept, flow and be aligned with the reality around you. Don't push too far, because again, that's like trying to fly a jet plane when you haven't yet learned to ride a bike. So like being a fully fledged angelic being or starseed being, before you've actually learned to embody the divinity within you in human form. I'm trying to keep these under 10 minutes. Distill. So this is to extrude impurities. It's the psychological immune system. That's what the spiritual stabilizers are there for. It's while we're in the divine gym trying to strengthen our mind and our emotions to hold ourselves strong as part of a community music festival, which really is the energy of community music festival. Sorry, it came into my head, and as soon as I said community music festival, it removed itself. So the community music festival is the frequency of us within a community. So don't make the community the entire cosmos. Make the community small. Start small. Small cycle rides. Down the hill, fall off. Down the hill, fall off. And eventually you'll begin to ride down the hill, and then there will be more people riding with you down that hill, and then that builds, that becomes the strength. to be enriched, to be concentrated, to increase your potency, and to focus intentional creativity, decanting old truths. And those old truths, they need to be understood as being part of a spiritual community that is a bit of a cul-de-sac that needs to be turned round. Hopefully that's someone sending me a birthday wish. Oh my God, I love birthdays. I know I keep saying that. So championing local flora for community sustenance. That local flora is almost like the perfume of your aura to move into and sustain a community around you. So I'm going to leave it there with just 2 cards because that's 10 minutes. It's 11 minutes now. So Wassail, beautiful people. I'm probably going to do some more readings because I enjoy them so much. Much love to all of you. Wassail.